Yo. Hold on. That's better. So today I woke up and decided to give you guys some facts about iPhone, since the iPhone 16 is going to be available for pre-order on the 20th of September. Right? So like I thought, okay, let me give you guys some, interesting facts. Like, how every iPhone drops with a new thing, right? For example, the dynamic island came with the iPhone 14. Now, why do I sound so down? Yo, guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. And today, I'm going to be telling you guys about some interesting facts, or basically interesting things that came along with each new iPhone, since the iPhone 16 is just on the horizon, available with pre-order starting September 20th. I'm not sure if that's going to be available in South Africa September 20th, but I know it's going to be dropped officially September 20th. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, today is September 12th, which is actually my birthday. So, like, shout out to me. So like, yeah, let's get started. So I wanted to start by giving you guys like two interesting things that came with each iPhone, and I wanted to start from like the best generation of iPhone, like iPhone's best, right? And that is undeniably, I'm not going to argue with you, the iPhone 13. I don't care if it was not the most hyped, because I'm pretty sure iPhone 12 was the most hyped, because like, I don't know, I think it was iPhone 12. I'm not 100% sure. But the best generation of iPhone is undeniably the iPhone 13. Like the iPhone 13 did it all, bro. iPhone 13 was crazy. So now, like, yeah, let me start with the iPhone 13. So my original plan was to give you guys like just two things that came with the iPhone 13. But because the iPhone 13 is so great, it's so great. I have like 7, right? But like, it just truly is a beauty, right? And like, I just love its overall simplistic design, and I don't think there are any gold iPhone 14, 15 and 16s available. So like, if you want a gold iPhone, you're gonna have to go with the 13. And let's talk about the size. I know all iPhones look the same, but they actually get bigger. Each Pro Max model gets bigger by the year. Now the iPhone 16 is like huge. It's the biggest iPhone has ever did, and I feel like that, though that might be somewhat nice, it's kind of uncomfortable. But with a phone like this, it's the perfect size. They should have just stopped here. But like, but this phone looks good. This phone is good. This phone looks incredible. And just let me get my computer here. So let me tell you. So first, the iPhone 13 came with the fastest chip in a smartphone. Like, when the iPhone 13 was released, it had the smartest chip a smartphone could ever have. Like, it was advanced. It was beyond its time. It was iPhone's best work. The iPhone 13 Pro Max has the best battery life ever on iPhone. Like, not like when it came out, just like how the smartest chip was when it came out. Like, it has the best battery life ever on iPhone. iPhone never did it as good as it did with the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Like, for example, and like, I have a perfect example this time. The phone that I'm shooting this video on right now is the iPhone 13 Pro Max. The quality is scrumptious. Like, it is undeniably beautiful. Just let me open this to get better sunlight. But like, yeah, the quality is scrumptious, right? And the battery life on this phone is the best that Apple has ever done. Because this phone that I'm filming on right now, I've had it for 3 years. I got the iPhone 13 Pro Max first when it released, and I made a review about it like 3 years ago. So I've had this phone for about 3 years, and guess what the battery life is on? 85%. 85% on the battery life only depreciated 15% in the last 3 years. That is great. That is beautiful. Shoot macro. The iPhone 13 Pro Max also introduced iPhone's new and improved macro camera that also has like a flower mode. Like, if you zoom in on something, a little flower icon should pop up, and then it, like, I don't know, it makes the camera, the thingy more defined. So if you're a person who likes taking macro pictures or pictures of plants, that feature might work for you. Yes, a super fast, super fluid, super retina XDR display with Pro Motion. Oh, it's pretty damn cool. Based on what the pictures that I'm seeing over here, it's just like a very nice screen. Oh, iPhone 13 Pro Max also released haptic feedback. Haptic feedback is basically this feature on iPhone where, like, with vibrations and everything, like, I don't even understand it, but like, if you want to try it out, go to your settings, search haptic, and then switch it on or off if you don't have it on, if you want it off or something like that, right? And then, oh yeah, it is the first iPhone that was fumble, bumble, tumble resistant, and it was the first iPhone ever released that could go 30 meters underwater and still come out working perfectly fine. Now, isn't that crazy? 30 meters. Like, that's like 3 cars, bro. 3 cars deep underwater and still come out working perfectly fine. It's also like you can also freeze it. I think it's freeze resistant. But like the iPhone 14, I mean iPhone 13 Pro Max, it was pretty cool. So the iPhone 14 Pro Max, right, which I also have, by the way, in case any of you guys are wondering. So the iPhone 14 Pro Max, the 2 interesting features about it is one, the dynamic island, right? It is the one that introduced dynamic island to iPhone, although it was only available on the Pro Max, but I'm pretty sure now in the 15, which is the only one I don't have. I'm going to get the 16, mark my words, but I'm pretty sure in the 15, the dynamic island was available in base models as well. But like, yeah, iPhone 14 Pro Max was the one that introduced the dynamic island. In case you don't know what a dynamic island is, it's basically like when you're holding your iPhone and then like there's... Says that my iPhone 14 is there, but I'm gonna insert the clip. But you see when you're like holding your iPhone and then the notch there is sort of like on the screen right now, and it's alive. It moves when you get notifications. That thing shows the notification, like it's alive. It's no longer like a bezel anymore. It's no longer a part of the bezel. It's alive on the screen and it moves around. You can touch it, you can set it to do different stuff, and that's pretty cool. So this is the iPhone 14. As you can see, this one is black. It looks good. It's a Pro Max model. Here's what it looks like from the front. It is basically, if I put this side to side of the iPhone 14, you're not going to, I mean the iPhone 13, you're not going to see a difference. I haven't personally held an iPhone 15, but based on what they're saying about titanium, maybe you'll see the difference. The only difference with the iPhone 15 is that you're going to notice that this, like you see this little thing here, is no longer going to be like a switch. It's going to be like, what you might call it, an action button. But other than that, if you put it side by side with the iPhone 13, nah, you're not going to notice it. But let's talk about the dynamic island. See, right now I'm playing a random song. I'm gonna turn it down because of copyright, but right now I'm playing a random song. See, like I don't have to go into Apple Music to check the song that I'm playing. I can click the dynamic island and it will take me to the song and show me what's next, all that stuff. Or I would just like hold it down here and then the dynamic island shows me everything. Same happens when you like get a notification. If a notification was to just pop up right now, it would open like this, tell me the message, show me who it is, all that type of stuff. So there's a lot of things that you can do with the dynamic island. But yeah, that's basically the iPhone 14. So it came with that, and the iPhone 14 Pro Max also introduced the always on display. See, like iPhone 13 below did not have always on. Like basically always on is self-explanatory, like the phone doesn't turn off, but it basically is not technically. It's not, you see how when your phone is on, you can click it, do all that stuff and everything like that. So always on display, when you put your phone down, or like when you press the power button, it doesn't turn off. Like basically what you see is like a dark background and the time and your messages. And like actually it doesn't chow battery, which is actually pretty cool. So like yeah, iPhone 14 Pro Max introduced the dynamic island as well as the always on display. So like that's pretty cool. Kudos to you, iPhone 14 Pro Max. Now let's go on to the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Okay, so now the iPhone 15 Pro Max, which is the one that I didn't get. It funny enough, I was just talking about always on, right? So the iPhone 15 Pro Max introduced a feature where you can actually change the iPhone 15 Pro Max's always on thingy, because some people were saying it's a bit too on, right? So now there's an iOS feature now that you can actually change the brightness of the on, what that is off by like it's on. So like now you can turn it out to be a bit darker, or if you want it to be brighter, it can do that too. But with the iPhone 14 Pro Max, it was just like it stayed at the always on that Apple designed it to be on, right? So like now you can customize it yourself, and like you can see your own little whatever you want to see when the phone is off but on. You understand? And oh, iPhone 14 Pro Max also, no 15, sorry, also is the phone that introduced the new titanium body thingy, which is basically like, why, how does that help me? A titanium phone. But I guess it's pretty cool to say, hey, I have a titanium phone, I guess. But other than that, I don't really see a need to own a titanium phone. Like, it doesn't really help. And the titanium is only on the sides of the phone as far as I'm concerned. So like you can still very much drop it and then it will shatter, because like iPhones do that for some reason. Yeah, iPhone 15 Pro Max also introduced the new action button, right? So the action button, you see how like 14 below iPhones have a silent button switch thing, which is basically if you flip that switch, your phone will go from silent or to unsilent, or basically along those lines, right? So with the iPhone 15 Pro Max, they removed the silent button and added the action button, where now, which is a very cool thing, you can actually map what you want that button to do, right? Instead of making it silent and unsilent, which it can still do, you can make it do that, but instead of it just being limited to that, you can make it that when you press the action button like once, then it will make it on silent. But if you double click the action button, it could go to your camera or something. If you're like something like a photographer who needs to capture everything in the moment, pull out your phone, double click on the side, boom, you're in your camera. Simple as that. Or you can make it set other things, or like it can make it go to your phone, or it can hang up calls with the action button. Like there's a lot of things you could do with that action button that are pretty cool. Or you can also summon your digital assistant Siri with that action button. So like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Thumbs up to the iPhone 15 Pro Max. The titanium is very stupid, but I really like the action button. So like, yeah, thumbs up, kudos to you. Now let's move on to the not yet released but upcoming iPhone 16 Pro Max, and let's see what I have to say about it. Okay, so now we are at the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So basically the iPhone 16 Pro Max, let me get my reading glasses on, man. So basically the iPhone 16 Pro Max is powered by an A18 Pro chip built for Apple Intelligence. So basically, the reason I think that the A18 chip is like a cool feature is only because of the fact that iPhone 15 Pro Max uses an A16 chip. So they jumped 2 generations for this phone. Another cool thing to mention about it is the fact that the iPhone 16 was also built for Apple Intelligence. Usually, iPhone will release a phone and then it will come with a new feature like Apple Intelligence, for example. But in this situation, this phone was literally built for the feature. The feature is not for the phone. The phone is for the feature, which is baffling, okay? So basically, what is Apple Intelligence? I'll explain that in just a second, right? When I'm done with the iPhone 16. The iPhone 16 Pro also has a larger display. It's the largest display we've ever seen in an iPhone. So like, that's pretty cool. And it also has a new camera button, which is basically this button on the side. So if you ever find yourself like, let's pretend this is a phone. If you ever find yourself recording something, there will be a button here that you like press, and then it takes pictures and stuff, and if you double click to record, to take a picture, you know, all that stuff. So it also has a new camera button, which I find to be very cool. And yeah, that's basically what the iPhone 16 introduces. Now, as promised, let me tell you about Apple Intelligence. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, the iPhone 15 also introduced, no, it didn't introduce, but the iPhone 15 stopped using lightning cable, which is basically what the charging cable that Apple has been using since forever, and now uses USB-C. So Apple Intelligence is basically like an upgraded Siri, right? So basically, Apple Intelligence is when your phone has become a whole AI system, like a meta AI thing, where you can actually talk to Siri. And like, you see how if you were talking to Siri and you wanted to say something, like for example, hey Siri, what time is it? Oh no, I meant what day it is. Siri is gonna be confused because you ask what time it is, and then you rephrase and you said, oh man, what day it is. So in the previous generations of iPhone, Siri would not know how to answer you and would say, can you please repeat that? But like now, Siri is more common to human speech and human speech mistakes. So if you were to say, hey Siri, what time is it? Oh no, sorry, what day is it? It will tell you what day it was and would ask if you would still like to know the time, even though it answered your original question of what day it is. So that's pretty cool. And also, instead of Siri being a little ball on the phone, it's gonna be like all around the phone, like surrounding the bezels, and it's gonna look pretty cool. And another example of what iPhone Apple Intelligence can do, right? So say you schedule a meeting on your phone for tomorrow at 10 o'clock, you have to meet a client, right? Siri, or Apple Intelligence, let me put it like that, is always on, it's always tracking, it's always checking. And say there's traffic along the route that you normally take. Oh, by the way, it memorizes the route that you normally take to work, because like it's always knowing what you're doing. So like, if there's traffic around the route that you normally take, Apple Intelligence can what can it do? Oh, let me see. It can check the traffic conditions, adjust your wake up alarm if necessary, and even suggest the best time to leave based on your preferred mode of transport. So if it knows that your preferred mode of transport is like your car, right? And you are sleeping, you're supposed to wake up at 6 to go to the meeting at 7. I changed the time, I know. You're supposed to wake up at 6 to go to the meeting at 7, but there is traffic. It checks the traffic conditions. The phone could wake you up at 5. Like, it could override the set alarm of 6 o'clock and wake you up at 5 o'clock and tell you, oh, sorry, we woke you up. But Sorry, I'm getting a call. I don't know if you guys can hear the fact that the phone is ringing, but like, yeah, that will have to be put aside. So sorry can be like, oh, sorry, we changed the time, but there's traffic around the time that you want to take, so we recommend you wake up now and you go. Apple intelligence is brilliant, and I just cannot wait for it. But yeah, other than that, that was the interesting features, interesting things added, new introductions. But anyway, that was videos from iPhone 13 all the way up to iPhone 16, talking about every new feature, button, thing that was released with new iPhone going up. Thank you guys so much for watching that video. If you want more content like that, where I'm talking about iPhones, make sure to treat this video well, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to share, comment if you are at it, and then I will give you more videos like this. But now, until further ado, Little Man Jay will see you on the next one. Peace out.